You're very active in the business community. What are you seeing are the challenges for the businesses locally that we can perhaps build on and help with?
Well, Suzanne, what they really need is advice that's practical. Well, what's gone on in Gloucestershire, we've had quite a few organisations. I mean, within the Chambers of Commerce, they've done different things. They haven't been together. A lot of businesses haven't been involved at all, to the point where I'd say that some of the chambers have been quite anonymous. I'm particularly thinking of Gloucester. Now, as we know, in other parts of the country, and certainly Ireland, chamber is huge, and it represents the business community. Not so here. So I think you've got a really blank sheet of paper to go on. I think huge opportunity to bring people together. Federation of Small Businesses has shown us the way a little bit. They've done very well. But I mean, it's enormous. I mean, in Stroud alone, the Federation of Small Businesses has got something like 900 members. In Gloucester, a fantastic place for business, we haven't got many businesses involved at all. And it's all, as I say, very anonymous.
So what do you think my priorities should be going forward if we want to raise the profile? So where should we start?
Well, first of all, you've got to create an awareness. They've got to understand who you are, what you are. With the profile that you have, you need to get out. You need to talk to people and say, we're joined up in business now. That hasn't happened here. We aren't joined up. We have Gloucestershire First, the economic driver of the County Council. I've got views on that, which are well documented, and they are views that say essentially it is fairly anonymous. Go and see businesses and ask themselves. So I'd like to see a situation where all businesses were involved in an awareness campaign. But what can you do for them? How do you sign up an apprentice? You know, everyone says it's easy, but it's not. You know, how do you get various grants?
So some practical advice.
Practical advice of the kind that, you know, you've been looking at in your growing business campaign. That's what people want. How do we do it?
So how do they get that advice? Where do they access it from? And then from our point of view, being that gateway to that access.
Absolutely, and not a big price tag on this. You know, don't charge them a large amount of money. Make it easy. A lot of very, very good people in Gloucestershire are small business people. You need to involve them. That's the thing I'd like to see. I'd like to see some of these businesses really involved. And I'd like you to say to them, what do you want us to do for you?
And I think that's very much about what we've been trying to do, I think. Yes, it's not about setting everything in tablets of stone and saying, well, this is what it is, you accept it or you don't. Trying to create an environment, particularly as we're on the start of the journey, of saying, well, there's some things we put in place, but what else do you need? And yes, we can change those, but we'll start with something, but then we'll engage you in those conversations. I mean, from my point of view, we see that there are chambers, local chambers, and they're important because they look at the locality of the Cheltenham and the Gloucester and the Stroud. And what we're looking to do is provide that umbrella for Gloucestershire. So the strategic voice of business, bringing the smaller chambers together, working with the FSB, but trying to get a coordinated voice that we can then talk to other partners with, both nationally, locally, regionally, so that we have a concerted voice for business, that it's not, as you said, disparate across the county, so that we can fight for what we want locally, and we can work with different partners. But it's how do we engage local businesses, because there are thousands and thousands of them, all with their own requirements and their different perspectives, but it's trying to synthesise those and bring a view together. And we've tried, you know, different things. We've been working on some sector groups, some supply chains, some bigger meetings, so that we can try and understand what business wants. And I think we've made some small steps, but it's how do we now make that big step to say that we're here and we want to engage with you.